It's the weekend and I really want some ribs, but I don't want just any ribs. I want to do something different. So today I'm going to make some spicy teriyaki spare ribs. So for these spicy teriyaki ribs, the first thing we need to do is make the spicy teriyaki sauce, and it's extremely easy. And you can doctor this up any way you want. If you don't want it as spicy, don't make it as spicy. This is how I'm making it. So I'm starting with 1/3 cup of teriyaki sauce. I'm using La Choy. You can use any kind you want. If you want to make yours from scratch, you can. To that, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of red pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of a chili sesame oil. If you don't want it very spicy, just use regular sesame oil. A tablespoon of minced garlic. You can use crushed or whatever you have. Now I'm going to grate maybe a teaspoon or 2 of fresh ginger. If you have a jar of crushed or minced ginger, you can use that. Now I'm going to grate some fresh pear right into the sauce, mix it up. It's going to have the skin on it and everything. I'm going for about half of this pear. There's a lot of heat in this sauce. We want some sweetness too. And now we mix. It's a very thick sauce. It's almost like a barbecue sauce, but we're using it as a marinade today. Let's give this a taste. Heat and sweet. Oh, that's good. Time to get it on the ribs. So here I have 1 rack of spare ribs. They're not cut down to St. Louis cut, they're full spare ribs. Just cut the rack in half. It's a little more manageable that way on the Weber Kettle, which is where we're going to be smoking this. I've removed the membrane, trimmed them up a bit, and now it's time to get this spicy teriyaki sauce on them. Going to give this a good rub in on both of these because these are going to marinate overnight. Now I'm not going to use all of this spicy teriyaki sauce. Some of this is going to go to doctor up a barbecue sauce, which is going to glaze these ribs tomorrow. Get these turned over, get the backside. It's especially important to get that membrane off if you are using a marinade on ribs. You want it to penetrate from both sides. That is good. It's going to give it a quick rub around all the edges. You can see all these red pepper flakes in there. That is going to be such nice heat. Now I'm going to get these into a plastic bag and into the refrigerator overnight. I'll bring you back tomorrow when we're getting ready to smoke them on the Weber Kettle. Welcome back. The spicy teriyaki ribs have been marinating for more than 24 hours now, and the Weber Kettle is up to temp, so let's get them on. Oh, these smell terrific in the bag here. Just want to try and arrange these. Sorry for the funky light. Kind of partially under my patio cover. Have to add a few more briquettes and some hickory. I'm going to shake the ash out of here. We're going to put a nice piece of hickory in there. I want to get some good smoke going. Let me just arrange these a little better. You can see I have my temperature probe over here, running out to the ThermoPro. That'll allow me to keep an eye on the temp. My dog Roxy is out here just soaking up the sun in that black fur coat of hers. And I think she's gonna guard the grill here from anyone getting to these ribs. So the plan with these is it's gonna go 3 hours naked, nothing else on them. Then after 3 hours, I'm gonna put them in a foil pan with some glaze on them, cover that with foil, put it back on. 2 hours later, they're gonna come out of that foil pan, go back on the grill with a little bit of sauce. It's a basic 3-2-1 method, except I'm using a pan instead of wrapping them in foil. I've done that before with some St. Louis ribs and they came out amazing. We're gonna let this hickory get going and start bathing these spicy teriyaki ribs in that wonderful hickory smoke. All right, we're gonna cover these up, let them cook. Bring you back in about 3 hours. All right, we are at our 3-hour mark. Let's take a look at these. Those are some really good looking ribs. Once again, I apologize for the light. That's the sunlight coming through the slats in my patio cover, but it's looking really good. All right, let's get these into the foil pan and get them glazed a little bit and get some moisture in there, sealed up and back on. If you can see, I just have one rack in there right now because I want to put some glaze on before I put the other rack on top of this. Again, this is that leftover marinade. I've mixed it with a Hawaiian barbecue sauce. You can mix it with any kind you want. This is just to give a little bit of coating on here. We're gonna put more of this on when they come out of the foil pan and go back on the grill for that last hour. Flinging some sauce in different places, and I think if my dogs were out here, they'd be all over it. Okay, that's a good glaze right there. Now what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of apple cider to this pan. Just a little bit for some more moisture. Now we're gonna seal this up with a double layer of foil. Get it nice and tight. Good and tight. All right, let's get this back on the grill. So this is gonna go for 2 hours here. I'm gonna get the lid on, get the temperature back up, just let it cook. I'll bring you back when we're ready to unwrap these, get them back on the grill for that last hour. Okay, the ribs have been in the foil pan for 2 hours now. We're 5 hours into this cook, and we've been maintaining somewhere between 225 and 250 most of the time. It's dropped a little bit right now. Be adding some more briquettes, but let's get these off. Check them out. Get this unwrapped here. Oh, look at that. The smell is amazing. I need to get these back on the grill individually and then we'll sauce them on there. You see that bone pulling away right there? We're getting nice and tender. The meat pulling away from the bones right there at the end. So we're getting tender. Still have more time to go. Like I said, probably another hour. Just need to sauce these both up so we get a really good glaze at the end. I don't bother saucing the bottom side. I know some people do. It's just not something I've ever found to be necessary. All right, let's knock this ash down. Get some more briquettes in there. I'm also going to put one more piece of hickory in. I know a lot of people say the meat will not absorb any more flavor this late in the cook, but there's a lot of moisture on the surface with that sauce. And smoke loves moisture. There's every chance of getting hickory flavor into that sauce. Let's get our hickory on there. Just beautiful looking ribs, and they are going to be nice and spicy with that spicy teriyaki marinade and sauce. You can just see the pepper flakes still in there. This is going to be great. Okay, one more hour to go and get the lid back on. And again, that hour is a guideline. We'll check it at an hour. If it's not tender, we'll keep it going. Okay, we've had an hour on the grill. Let's have a look. Ooh. Now I'm just going to check these and see how tender they are. This is not for temperature. This is just a probe. Oh, nice and tender. Yeah, these are ready. These are done. Okay, let's get these off here and inside to taste. Here is 1/2 of that rack of ribs, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it really is just gorgeous, the color on this. But the test is what's inside. So let's cut in. Ooh, look at that. Can you see the smoke ring in there? There is a really nice smoke ring. Love smoking on that kettle. It just contains the smoke in there and just forces it into the meat. It's almost like there's a pressure, like a smoke pressure that helps that smoke absorb into the meat. These are just beautiful ribs. All right, it is time to taste these. Yes, I'm looking forward to tasting these ribs. They smell amazing. They're just gorgeous. I mean, these just have such a great color on them from that spicy teriyaki marinade and glaze. So here I go. It's messy finger time. Oh, these just smell so good. All right, there's so much juice. It is just dripping. I don't know if you can see that. As I bend it, there's just, here goes. Oh, that is nice. That teriyaki marinade penetrated deep into this. Oh, this is good. You know, there's juice dripping off my fingers here. Oh, this is amazing. Little kick from those red pepper flakes and that chili sesame oil. Not too much. Oh, I'm not joking. It's just, I wish you could see this. It's dripping down my hand here. Perfectly tender the way I like it. It has bite to it, not fall off the bone. That's my preference in ribs. I don't like the meat so tender that it's almost mushy, that it just falls on its own. I like it when you have to bite it, but it comes away clean off the bone. I love that combination of a good marinade, a good glaze, and good smoke. All three are in these ribs. Now I see how you could really spice these up. More chili oil, hotter pepper flakes, many different ways if you want a super spicy rib. But these have just enough spice where most people could eat them and go, ooh, there's a little bit of heat in there. If you want more, ramp it up. But I think these would be just about perfect for anyone except those people who have like those palates that can't stand any spice. The heat in these, mild but there. I have to say these are a success. That spicy teriyaki marinade is key to these. Giving it 24 hours to really penetrate and get in there. That's your base of flavor on this. The glaze and the smoke are the next layers of flavor. But you really need that penetration of the heat from that teriyaki marinade if you want the spice. Otherwise, you're going to do a dry rub. Now, you could do a rub on top of the marinade after you've already done that. And I know people who've done that before. I don't know that it's necessary here. If you want to try it, go ahead. But I think there's just such a great mix of flavors here between that marinade, the sauce, and the smoke. I don't know what else you need. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel and consider subscribing. And if you do, click that bell for notifications. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great evening. I gotta wash my hands. I'll see you again soon.